What is going on YouTube? My name is Kay and welcome back to another video. It is not an Assassin's Creed video, which I'm still going to be doing. Still actually got to do a bit of recording for it, but that's beside the point. The point is, this video is how to make your videos, or make your actual real life record videos look better, look darker, the colors need to be more vibrant, and how to do all that cool type of stuff. Really easy. I learned it a couple minutes. I just had to do some recording. Thought I might as well edit it and try some. I went on like different type of videos and people's videos and saw some stuff, and I was like, you know what? I gotta show how other people can do this. I gotta show other people how to do this. And so I'm gonna show you the original video, and then I'm gonna show you the edited video, and then we're gonna go through step by step on how to do it. So here we go with the original video.
The recording, it's recording, okay. Sweet. Holy shit, it's so goddamn bright. I can barely even keep my eye open. Goddamn snow. Okay.
Okay, so that was the original video. Now I'm gonna show you the edited video. Okay, so you probably notice a lot of differences between the two. The car color is way darker. The shadows underneath the cars are way darker as well. The snow in this case is a bit more blue, but it stands out way more. The tree, the shadow underneath each branch of the tree is darker. It makes it look better. Also, if you notice the sky is way more blue. The clouds are a little too in my opinion, they're a little too overexposed, but not a lot of people pay attention to those type of stuff. They mainly just focus on what the main big point of the video, or the main big aspects of the video are. Like in this case, it would be like this. If you're just filming the tree, they'd only be focused on the tree. They wouldn't really notice the clouds or the sky too much. They'd just be noticed on the tree. Or if it was just the car, then they'd notice the shadows, the reflection. They notice the little wastebasket thing in the back over here. They notice a bit of the snow around it, but other than that, they wouldn't really notice too much. And yeah, so let's go through how to do this. So what we're gonna do is we are going to go to new file. We are okay. So on top of this, everything that is done in this video, it gets applied to any other editing program. It has the same stuff. You just got to figure out where they are located, and you just got to go through the same, pretty much the same type of settings that I go through or any other person goes through. You can search it up for Sony Vegas, for Final Cut, for Adobe Premiere Pro, whatever you want, whatever editing software you're using. You can just search it up, and yeah. So in this case, we're gonna go to a new project, so we don't want to change our settings. So when we go to new project, or when we open up Premiere Pro, it's gonna give us this. It's gonna be like new project. In this case, we don't want to change anything. I just changed my rendering to GPU because it renders quickly when I have my graphics card is on when I overclock my graphics card and everything. So in this case, we don't want to change anything. We just want to leave it the way it is and click OK. In this case, we're gonna overwrite whatever the file was that I was using earlier. Now, when you come up, nothing is gonna be here. You're not gonna be able to put anything up because it requires you to make a new sequence. To make a new sequence, we are gonna do it where there are two ways. You can either go up to File and go, or sorry, make sure you're not clicking this when you're opening up a new sequence because it won't let you. So you want to click like any of these other ones, any of these other three. So you can go up here to File, go to New, and then Sequence, Control N. Or in this case, if you know that already, you can straight up go and click Control N. Now, what we want to do is we want to go to Available Presets. And in this case, you got to find whichever camera you're using to record. In this case, I'm using my digital SLR. I recorded in 1080 and 24 frames per second. Now, before you click OK, what we want to do is we want to go to Settings. We want to change the pixels from 1080. Okay, so I forgot that my number pad button, my number 0 button on my number pad, whatever, is my recording button, and I actually clicked that and accidentally pressed it while typing 0. In any case, you want to change this from 1920 by 1080 to 1920 by 800 because it'll get, instead of having those actual black bars which you normally would have in a cinematic, it'll actually just cut it off, and when you actually render it, it'll show those black bars will show up in the actual video, so you don't actually have to like have a preset for it or a picture, and you don't have to import it in and do all that stuff. In this case, yeah. So we're gonna name our sequence. We're gonna name it Cinematic Look. And now everything is fine. We have our preset, we have our frame size and everything. Everything else we're gonna leave the way it is, and we're just gonna click OK. Now, what we're gonna do is, because we have this up, we need to bring up our video. So in this case, we're gonna go to our C drive because mine is located in my videos. So I'm gonna go to my videos quickly. Go here, drag it out, and bam. Oh, give me a second. It didn't seem to. Okay, sorry about that. Just give me one quick second, guys. 20 by 800. There we go. Okay, so when you open it in 800, it should be like this. Now, it shouldn't be just a normal square. It'll be like this. So in this case, we're gonna keep it like that. Now, when you put it in, it's gonna give you this warning. In this case, if you want to keep your original setting, if you don't want those black bars or whatever, you don't want any of that specific cinematic widescreen type of look, then you can change the sequence settings, and it'll keep it to the original sequence settings of the video that you recorded in. In this case, because we want to go for that more cinematic view, we're gonna go keep setting. Yeah. Now you can see that it's gonna be like this. Now in this case, before we do anything, we want to right click on this video. So if you go down to here, so it's your media browser, this is your sequence. You want to click on this video, or like this little clip. You want to right click, you want to go to unlink, and you want to delete the audio because we're not going to be using the audio in this tutorial. And on top of that, if you want, you can bring this you can open this up here. You can either double click it, or you can click and drag and bring it up to your source. So now what we want to do is we want to go back to here on sequence 2. We want to go to effects. We want to go to motion. Now what we want to do is, because I want to change the way that we're looking at the video. So the second one, adjust the height, and because we are in widescreen, so you can choose whatever way you want, what part of the video you want to be shown in this widescreen shot. In this case, I want to make it 325 because that's what I was using originally when I showed you guys that preset. So this is up and down. The one that says 960, that's left and right. So your X, and this is your Y. And you don't want to scale it anything else because it'll make the video smaller or bigger. So now that we have that, what we want to do is we want to go to effects. Now that we went to effects, we want to go and click, we want to go and type, color. I did not spell color right. So in this case, if you look here down in the color correction, it's going to bring you all of these. The ones that we want to use, it's going to be 3-way color corrector. So you just want to click, drag on top of your movie. Now when you do it and you're still in your effects control, it'll show you this. It'll show you these three circles. Now each one shows controls a different compartment of the video. So the one on the far left is going to be your shadows. The one in the middle is going to be your midtones, so your grays, and then your highlights is going to be the brightness, kind of. So what we want to do next is we want to actually, before we actually start messing around with the midtones or the shadows, what we want to do is we want to actually choose a part of this clip. So we're going to move it to the part that we want, which shows a majority of the background and the actual concentration of the car and everything else. So in this case, it'll be about right there. So it'll show you the snow, it'll show you the dumpster, it'll show you the actual car, the streets, the reflection, and the cars in the background as well. So in this case, that's why we're using this clip, or this part of the clip. Now, what we want to do next is we want to go to shadows and we want to bring it down to the blues, because we want to kind of go for more of a colder effect than we want to go for a warmer effect. Because most of the videos, when you look at them, they're a bit more warm when you look at the original video. If you look at this, the way that it is, it's warmer. So what we want to do is we want to go the opposite. We want to go down to the blues and make it a bit colder. So right about here is where you want to leave it. Again, midtones, you don't want to change so much. If you do, then you can obviously see that the whole color of pretty much everything changes. Everything goes to that specific color. In this case, we don't want to change that, so we're going to leave that at 0. And then for highlights, what we want to do is we also want to bring it down just a little bit towards the bluish pink area. Now what this is going to do, it's going to make everything a bit more blue. The shadows are going to be, or sorry, the brightness and the reflection is going to be a bit more blue, but it's going to make it look more, kind of more natural, because it is being because the sky is being reflected off the snow, and it's going to give you more of that blue shining look, especially off of the cars. You kind of want to be able to see the sky blue reflection. In this case, we're going to change just a little bit more right about there. That's where we want to leave it. Now you have these other two input levels. Your input, the input level, and you have your output level. Sorry. Now what you want to do with the input level is going to adjust the darkness in your shadows. The output level is going to adjust your brightness. So what you want to do in here is you want to change from the dark, you want to bring it up a little bit. You want to bring it up until you get that darker shadow-ish kind of like look at the bottom. You can bring it up a bit more, but then you're going to make your car too dark, and you can see it starts disorientating the reflection in the window. So we don't want to do that too much. So in this case, we're going to bring it down right up to there. And then what we're going to do with the output level is we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bring it down from this side so that it's not so bright and it looks a bit more natural and more it looks a little darker, because you don't want it too bright. Now that that's done, if you look at it from the original, you can see that there's a big difference, that the colors are more dark, and the colors on the car are darker. The dustbin is more, or sorry, the trash bin, or whatever the hell it's called. The waste bin. Yeah, let's go with that. Is more orangey. It's darker, looks more natural. There's more reflection color. If you kind of zoom in a bit more, then it'll make it a little more grainy. But in this case, because we are shooting it from a farther range, it doesn't matter. But you can notice that there's a bit more color. You can notice more of the greenish color on the car, more of the sky blue reflection off the car as well, and you can notice a bit more of the more detail in the actual surrounding area as well. And if you also kind of move over to here, you can also notice that the ground in there compared to 12 seconds. Okay, it doesn't want to go to 12 seconds. You notice right up to here, the darker the ground, it looks way more natural, looks darker, looks cleaner. Colors are more vibrant. In this case, it's just all bright and grainy, and it doesn't look nice. If you also look, the trunk of the tree, the brown color looks more natural. Same with the color on the. I'll show you in just a second. Let me just. If you look right here, you can notice that the shadows in the underneath. What do you call it? Underneath the branches, or the whatever they are called. I'm not a literate person, whatever. So yeah. On top of that, you can notice that the sky looks way more natural than it does in here, because in here it looks almost whitish. In this, you can actually see that the blue is standing out, and that's kind of what you want to go for. That's mainly what you want to go for. You want to make it so everything looks more natural, because when you actually do shoot from a camera, everything is really bright because of the settings. I actually had to change the settings on my camera up because my ISO was really low, and it wouldn't. Sorry, the ISO and the sharpness were really low, so it wouldn't. It was really dark and wouldn't be able to capture this entire thing. Sorry, no, it was too bright, so I had to darken it so that I would be able to capture the aspect. And then there's one last thing before we want to finish this off and render it. We want to go back to effects. We want to type in brightness, and I'll bring up this brightness and contrast. So what you want to do again is you want to grab it, drop it on top of the video, go to your effects control, and now as you notice, you'll actually have this little part right here. Now what this does is that it'll make everything a bit more darker. What you want to do is you actually do want to make it, primarily you want to leave it at about -9. You don't want anything darker than that. Primarily, well, like if you're gonna be like, if you're shooting, if you want something darker, then yeah, you can go for it. But in this case, I don't want too dark, because I want like the colors that I've put into the video to stand out more. On top of that, I am just gonna turn the contrast up just a little bit. Just gonna change it up to oh, my bad. I'm gonna change it to around 10. And I'll show you what this does as well. It actually amplifies a bit of the shadows. Yeah, you can notice that it is a bit more blue because the contrast is. That's mainly because it's mainly because our shadows went towards the blues, but that's completely fine. If you also come up here towards the tree again, you can also notice that the shadows underneath it are blue, but again, it's because shadows are mainly what you want to focus on, and because you're also adjusting the contrast, you're also going to be adjusting more of the sky color and make it a bit more blue. And then the clouds up here, they actually look naturally white and like actually like shining the way they should be, rather than all like plain and kind of like disgusting kind of looking up here, So that's pretty much about it. If you want to add in music, then go for it. You can add in music, do whatever you want. But that's pretty much going to be about it. At the end, what you want to do is, if you want to render it, you can just go to File, go to Export. Oh, make sure you have this clicked. Give me a second. Go to Export, go to Media, or you can Control M. And if you notice that it'll actually make it so that it looks more of a cinematic view. Now, if you don't want that, if you want to make it less, if you want the bars to be there less, then you can go ahead and change that to whatever settings you want when you originally had it. Other than that, format, change it to the YouTube one. You want to go to H264. I have my own custom rendering video, rendering settings, and that's about it. That's all you guys need to do. You just go to export. It'll open up media encoder. You just gotta render it, and that's about it, guys. That's all there is to making of your normal film look more, uh, more professional, I guess. Yeah. If you guys want me to do anything else, feel free to let me know. Send me a message, comment on the video, give this video a thumbs up, and yeah. So